everyone. Welcome to Author Chat. I'm Terry, a contemporary romance novelist, and with me today to talk books and craft is author Heather Lauren. Hi, Heather. Thanks for joining me.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Great. So we are going to talk about your debut novel, Whiskey and Honey, out on February the 3rd, and it is a rock star romance. Can you tell us a little about that?
It's not actually a rock star romance. This
Oh.
one's a little bit suspenseful. It has a little bit of mafia in it, but it's not the usual main character that is, and you don't find out until you read through the entire book to really find out what's going on. But Lila is our main character, and she is a famous chef from Chicago, and she puts her trust in some wrong people, and when her life crumbles before her, she is sent back home to San Diego, where her two best friends kind of nurse her back to her old self, and she meets the very alluring Cole. Cole is her best friend's roommate, and she moves in with them, and they're strictly forbidden from.
So sort of a forbidden romance?
Yes, this is a forbidden romance because Marcus is her best friend. You meet all three of the main characters in the novella Rum and Records. And Marcus comes to Lila's rescue in Chicago when trouble finds her, and his roommate is Cole. There is instant chemistry and instant sparks when the two of them meet, but Marcus knows that Lila is in absolutely no condition to be seeing someone like Cole. Cole and Marcus have their boys' weekends, and he knows exactly how Cole is quite the player, so he wants to protect her. And even though she's not one for dating, she's not the typical person who, she doesn't really hook up with guys, she doesn't really date guys. She is just very hardcore, strict, working as a chef. That was her dream, and she made it come true. Great. And so adventure finds them. There's lots of steam, lots of chemistry, and I hope everyone likes it.
And so that is a book one. Do you have a set amount of books that you've planned out for your series?
There will be 4 full-length novels, and then there's the prequel novella. And they will, more than likely, I'm hoping they are going to rapid release. So February, March, April, and May, the whole series will be out.
Okay.
And I am also working with a box set for charity, Anyone But You, and it will be an enemies to lovers rom-com.
Great. That sounds good. And that one is out. When is your box set out?
February 16th.
Okay, right after Valentine's Day for a rom-com. That's great. So what inspired you to write Whiskey and Honey?
My favorite movie is Empire Records. So the series is the Empire Records series, and it really isn't anything like the movie, but I love music. I listen to music as I write. I listen to music as I clean the house. Music is very much embedded in me. When I'm having a tough day or anything like that, I can always listen to music to put me in a better mood. So I wanted to do a music series, and it kind of just started with me sitting in front of my computer. I had never written a full-length novel before, but this one it all came out and it finally finished, and I'm so excited to share it with everybody.
So how long have you started? When did you start on the series?
I started Whiskey and Honey in 2019. So it took me a year to write that one, but it only took me less than 30 days to write Black Velvet and Lace, which will be book 2 in the series.
Well, sometimes once it starts coming out, it just, does that. That's great. So are you, did you plot these out, or you just sort of pantsed them along, as they say, or?
I totally pantsed Whiskey and Honey. I did not know of any kind of structuring, but again, it just came to me. I completely felt every single word, and got really into the suspense and the drama of it. Book 2 is very loosely structured, and it's a rock star romance. And again, the whole series revolves around music.
Is there a particular genre of music, or just all anything that inspired you? Or?
I have a lot of different personalities in these books, and I made a playlist for each book. So I love every different kind of music. So when I kind of felt that character, I would make that playlist, and I think it did inspire what I ended up writing, and really meshes with their personalities, and I really believe that that's what they would listen to. And I name dropped a lot of songs in chapters randomly too, because I know my characters would be listening to that song.
I like that. And did you ever use the music to help you get into whatever mood you were trying to set for the chapter or scene?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Spotify is my best friend.
Yes, I know a lot of authors do make Spotify playlists for their characters. That is something that happens a lot for that. So you had not ever had you been a writer before this, or is this something that just you came to?
I've definitely been writing my whole life, but I was one of those people that I'm sure a lot of people can relate to, where I would start something and not finish it. I would get really excited about it. And if you don't structure yourself, if you don't set yourself goals, if you don't make it a priority, you'll never finish. And that's what I learned when it came to book 2. I just set goals and made sure that I wrote that amount of words in that day. That way I could finish it in a month, and I did.
Well, that's an incredible feat to finish one at all, let alone in a month. So that's, that is fantastic. What was the most surprising thing you discovered about writing a full book?
That's a very good question. I guess what in the world am I going to do now that I wrote this book? I had absolutely no idea. And then I just fell through the rabbit hole of all the authors and all the amazing groups and all the people that I've met online. And I don't think this Whiskey and Honey would have ever been read by anyone if I hadn't had the support and teachings from a lot of other authors. Like, I didn't know where to start. I didn't know where to begin. I didn't know where it ended. I didn't know how to market until I met the right people. It's very hard.
Yes, it is. And marketing is a completely different skill set from what most authors have. We are typically, at least I know I am, somebody that just wants to sit on my computer and tap away in, my room by myself, and, getting out there and talking about it is one of the hardest things for us to do. I'm sure there are some extroverted authors out there who like that, but that's, at least from my experience, most of us are going, okay, now what?
Yes, very shy introverts. Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes. Oh, that's great. I'm glad you put yourself out there to come on my show then. That's
Me too.
Yeah. So what were some of the key challenges you faced? I know you have a family, and I'm sure a busy life, like, most of us juggling families right now. What were your challenges?
A lot, because I did it all in 2020, which is by far the worst year ever. I found out I was pregnant in January. I was still writing Whiskey and Honey, and I didn't stop until my husband got laid off. So, like a lot of other Americans, we fell on hard times financially. So it was I learned a lot because I was doing even more myself. Instead of being able to hire designers and personal assistants and stuff like that, I've learned a lot to be able to do things myself.
Yeah.
So that was a huge challenge this year, and just starting to put myself out there in the first place. Now let's learn this, let's learn that, and I learn something new every single day.
That's great. And let's talk about heat level for a minute. Your whiskey and honey is, well, what kind of heat level is that?
Probably say 4. It doesn't really go to 5. I guess 5 would be more like BDSM maybe, and it isn't. But I have quite a few scenes, and Cole and Lila have extreme chemistry from the first time that they see each other. So it's pretty hot and heavy. Pretty proud of it, actually.
How did you decide how much heat to give the story? Was that something that just came from knowing the characters, or just something you intentionally, you liked, so you wanted to have?
No, I didn't intentionally write steam at all. It just came that way because my characters were extremely attracted to each other. And the whole book is not steam. I'm probably making it sound like it is, but they were very, very attracted to each other. But again, it is forbidden, so it's not the entire book. But it is very steamy.
What was the highlight of writing this book? What was something that a scene or something that you wrote and you went, I really like this?
I second guessed myself the entire book.
Yeah.
I didn't actually know it was any good until I had a beta reader. I had somebody read it for me and said that they really liked it. And every time I read it, it would be like, okay, that's good. That's all right. But when someone else told me that they really enjoyed my storyline, I'm like, yes, now I feel it. Now that I know that I wrote an actual book. I didn't just put words to paper. I wrote something that someone wants to read. So that was it. That was it for me. I was so excited.
Who are your inspirations? Do you have any authors that you've read that have inspired you in your journey?
Yes, definitely. When it comes to steam, I really like Lauren Landish and
yeah.
Claire Kingsley because I like to put a little mystery, and my books are sweet, but they're not it's not small town romance. This series isn't anyways. It has a little mystery. It has a lot of pain. Book 2 has quite a bit of angst, and there is an underlying mystery in all of it. So I kind of got that inspiration from Claire because I really love reading her books, and you have to read the entire series to figure out what's going to happen. And so I have pain and tragedy in all of them.
Well, without character growth, it's not really much of a story, I don't think. I think that's that's at least what I enjoy most about a story, is seeing the character growth. And that sounds like, if those are your inspirations, then that's kind of what your book is, isn't it? Mostly it's a, character driven rather than just plot driven.
Yeah, there's a lot of adventure in them. A lot of cool. They go to a lot of cool places. They experience a lot of cool different things that I don't think a lot of people do. I haven't done these things, but I have been to some really cool places. So I feel like I like to put my reader in new situations, new places, new atmospheres, meet new different characters that are out of my own comfort zone.
Yeah, well, I think that's part of reading, isn't it? And writing is the escapism and getting those experiences that you might not get. And I think particularly in 2020, getting to out of your own head and just into somebody else's and relaxing for a while, being taken on that journey. And that sounds like what your series is going to do. So you've written obviously book one and book two. Is book two done now? And what are you
I,
working? Sorry.
were you gonna ask what I'm currently working on?
Yeah.
I'm currently on book 3. I'm halfway through. It is Cole's sister, and she is the wild card. She runs a tattoo parlor. She has bright blue hair. She does whatever she wants. But there's a lot that people don't know about her. So I am loving writing this one. I'm very excited to show a totally new character from my usual main characters of Empire Records.
Nice. And what is your daily process look like? Do you write every day? Do you write some days? How do you juggle all that?
I do. I love to write every day. Now, loving to and wanting to is all great and dandy, but I have 3 kids. One is an infant who demands me whenever he wants. So, and I'm not a morning person. I wish I could get up at 5 a.m. and write for a couple of hours, but that's just not, I can't function at 5 a.m. Coffee is my best friend. I need caffeine. But I get up, I take care of the kids. Breakfast, we're doing virtual learning, which I'm not a fan of. So we do that, do cleaning, all the stuff that needs to get taken care of. And my writing usually happens in between. Like I'll do marketing power hours. I'll try to get on there on my phone. I can do a lot more marketing, but when I can sit down and write is usually at night. And sometimes I find myself writing till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning just because it is all coming to me right then and there. I'm definitely a night owl writer.
Oh my goodness. Hopefully your kids don't get up too early in the morning after that, but
no, I'm lucky. They don't. They're not morning people either.
That's great. So after this is your debut novel, your first series coming out, what does success look like for you?
I'm doing all of this for those who read it. If someone wants to read my book, that's what I want. So I guess those reviews, I want to see 5-star reviews. I want people to read my books. I want to be out there. I want to be able to write those escapes for people, especially this year. Success would be people enjoying my stories and wanting more, joining my reader group and saying, hey, what are you working on? Because I can't wait to read it, stuff like that. Or give me a compliment, like, I didn't see that twist coming, stuff like that.
That is good, yes. And your book is on pre-order and will be released February the 3rd. And where can readers find out more about you and your books?
On my website at heatherlaurenbooks.com or on Facebook at Heather Lauren Books. I'm always on there. I love talking and chatting and posting silly things all the time. Also on Instagram at Heather Lauren Books.
Right. I will have all of that listed down below in the description. And while you guys are down there, if you would go ahead and like, subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified of all my new videos. And thank Heather for participating in today's author chat. And thank you to everyone for watching.